I'm Ollie Davis. Welcome to the New Look WrestleTalk news. We heard you chanting, "We want tables" at every wrestling show ever, and assumed it was for us. You're a strong desk, not a weak and flimsy Spanish announcer's desk. Our top story today is Becky Lynch blacking out her Twitter account and then not appearing on Monday Night Raw, an act currently known as the Drew McIntyre. Shortly before the show was due to start, Lynch removed all references to WWE from her Twitter bio, updated the handle to her real name Rebecca Quinn, and tweeted, "I won't be coming to Raw today." As Lynch only just lost the women's tag team title she held with Lita because Trish Stratus couldn't win a match, figure that one out, and Stratus subsequently turned heel on her, the Wrestling Observer is reporting her post is an angle. Fightful Select corroborated this, writing that Lynch was originally scheduled for the show, but is dealing with a minor foot injury that's gotten worse recently. However, much like when you joke that maybe it wouldn't be so bad if you and Megan got back together, there could be some very real truth inside this. Fightful Select adds that Becky's WWE contract, like pretty much the rest of the wrestling industry, expires in 2024. She re-signed a 3-year deal on returning back in 2021, which will put the exact time around June next year. There are reportedly no issues between Becky and WWE. With over a year left on her current contract, negotiations haven't started yet. But just like our news on Cody Rhodes' meetings with Hollywood yesterday, Lynch has made connections in the film industry, where she was even going to appear at the end of a Marvel movie at one point. She's even repped by Nick Khan's former talent agency, CAA. It's CAA. Speaking of Cody, his own family have now started to shoot on his WrestleMania 39 Night 2 loss. Speaking on Busted Open Radio, his brother and AEW star Dustin agreed with the booking. They're making him pay for it now. They're making him earn it. And I like that. I do. I like that because once you put the title on him, where are you going? Defend it? His sister Teal, meanwhile, revealed, "The well Cody wanted to lose convo is very funny to me. He never wants to lose. One time I beat him at Street Fighter and he didn't speak to me for 3 days." And to add to that adversity, the new main event of WrestleMania 40 was set up on last night's Raw. Rhea Ripley versus Solo Sikoa. Oh my god! You can cut the sexual tension with a spike. Adrenaline in my soul. Quiet adversity. We've all moved on now. Which is what Tony Khan is presumably hoping to happen when he brings back CM Punk. Andrew Zarian has reported on Wrestling Observer Live that Punk's return is essentially happening. Essentially happening, title of your new AEW weekly TV show. I know for a fact that Warner, the parent company of AEW's TV network, has been told that he's coming back. But who will he feud with? Zarian claims the Elite still don't want to work with him, although Kenny Omega is more open to it than the Bucks. There's been no dialogue between the two camps. But where there's money to be made, you'll probably find Chris Jericho. Apparently Jericho is willing to make a Punk feud work. Don't worry, Tony, I'll take one for the team and be put in the hottest program in all of wrestling. What a guy! Even if AEW literally announce it, we can't be 100% certain until Punk physically appears. Which is why we've got WrestleTalk's man on the ground, Brian Children, to confirm when it actually happens. Brian Children, has CM Punk returned to AEW?
Still no.
Subscribe to WrestleTalk for more hard-hitting wrestling journalism. Come on in, Luke. There's you set.
Thanks, mate.
Hot tag me.
Oh, hot tag. Yeah, hot tag. Cool.
Yeah.
So I just pulled the green screen
No,
out, right?
no. Look, we've got the backdrop.
But we always do it on a green screen.
Yeah, but we just had the whole. No, Luke, no.
But on the green screen.
Look, we've got a normal with the stripe.
But we stand up to do the news.
No, now we sit down. Look, we've got this nice chair. No, on the chair. What are you doing? No, get off the table!
But what do you want me to do?
Sit down. I've seen you sit down. No, not the green screen. Put the green screen down. On the chair. I've seen you sit down before. Oh my God. No.
Okay, I reckon I have something.
Okay. No.
Okay. Hot tag. Hello, I am Luke Owen, and here is what happened on WWE Monday Night Raw, aka the one where Brock Lesnar cosplayed as Jeff Jarrett edition of Monday Night Raw in about 5 minutes. We are still doing that gimmick, right? It's only because I'm sitting down now. I just want to We are? Okay, yeah, cool. Nice one. The Bloodline from SmackDown opened the show. Boy, I'm sure that draft will really shake things up in a few weeks' time. And I was about to lose interest as they cut the same promo they always do about Sami Zayn and the Kevin Owens problem, when the Judgment Day showed up and things got a little interesting. Heyman had arranged for the two teams to team up for one night only. Judgment Day will solve the Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn and Matt Riddle problem in a 6-man tag, while the Bloodline will solve the Bad Bunny problem by beating up Rey Mysterio in the LWO because Bad Bunny isn't actually on this show this week. He will next week, but he's not on the show this week, so Rey Mysterio is the only person to beat up. The match between Solo Sikoa and Rey Mysterio was pretty good. The Usos ran down to interfere, but the LWO stopped them, but they were ineffective because Solo won with a Samoan spike because the LWO apparently suck. The Bloodline held up their end of the bargain by beating up the LWO and giving Rey Mysterio the 3D. In a nice bit of simple and effective booking, Bianca Belair beat Dakota Kai ahead of her title match with tag partner Io Sky. There wasn't a whole lot of focus on that match, but all the other stuff in ring was pretty decent. Cody Rhodes came out to call out Brock Lesnar, but instead got Adam Pearce, who told him that he wasn't medically cleared to fight Brock Lesnar tonight. So why didn't they stop him with his broken tit at Hell in a Cell last year? Brock came out to reveal that he stole The Undertaker's gear from that sad striptease at the end of WrestleMania that one time, and Cody brawled with 20 or so security guards. This was fine. What was more than just fine, however, was The Miz versus Seth Rollins, which was, surprisingly, absolutely banging. The match here was to accomplish two things: put on a great match and get the crowd to chant "This is awesome," and do some form of rehabilitation for The Miz after being embarrassed at WrestleMania by Pat McAfee, Snoop Dogg, and Shane McMahon's torn quad. And it actually accomplished both things. It was a more serious Miz, a more focused Miz, and perhaps even more surprisingly, a good worker Miz. This was easily the best Miz match since that good one he had with Johnny Gargano last year, and probably the best he's looked since that one good run he had in 2016, which I just do want to remind folks was 7 years ago. Rollins gave him a lot, but didn't lose anything in the process. It was a great match and well worth going out of your way to watch. Rollins won with the stop, and I hope that this leads to something for both of them down the line. What was less good was Bobby Lashley versus Austin Theory. After the great work WWE did last week with Bobbles and Bronson Reed, it was disappointing to see Lashley sell so much for Austin Theory here, who feels like he's regressed since winning the US Championship. That Cena feud and win did nothing for him, and it feels like the crowd care even less about him now. I really do think it's time to take the belt off of him, to be honest. And in our latest game of Is It Trips or Is It Vince?, the match ended in DQ when Bronson Reed attacked Bobby Lashley. He then beat him up and hit the tsunami while the crowd did this. Boo this man, boo the move, boo. Those same piped-in noises came into full effect for Trish Stratus' heel promo, which, in fairness, was actually pretty good. She said that she turned women's wrestling in WWE from a joke into something that should be taken seriously. But Becky and her 4 horsewomen have taken all the credit for her work. Her work, not Lita's. She's not a nostalgia act. She's not your fantasy to have a wank over. She's not a sidekick. She's one of the greatest of all time, and she's here to show us that. I actually really like this. Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville beat Candice LeRae and Mia Yim. They've got a title match this Friday. And the main event saw Judgment Day fail to live up their side of the deal as they lost to Matt Riddle, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn in a fun TV match. They all brawled with the Bloodline and LWO, which was fun, but also hollow with not a lot of substance. I think if you were there live for this episode of Raw, you'd have a good time. The Miz and Rollins match was great and the brawl at the end was fun and chaotic, but on TV, this was a filler episode before Backlash. So let's say it was 2 out of 5. But if you've ever had questions about the 1994 Street Fighter movie, I made a video about it on our new channel Cutscene. Here's a clip.
Why does the Street Fighter movie look nothing like the Street Fighter game? Why is this movie, which should be about street fighting martial artists and warriors, actually about a group of army folk going up against a mad dictator hell-bent on world domination?
Look at this.
It sadly doesn't feel like the